Starting in a few minutes. Good morning. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we shall begin right away as you wait for our colleagues in this case here to join. We shall begin. All right, so we're looking at quantitative analysis, what we call QA. QA in CONNECT, quantitative analysis. Which really is one of those subjects that are very, very easy that we will need to pass round one. We're not going to take 2 rounds. No, these are subjects that we should be able to knock down on the very first round and punch it down. And the question is, how do we get to do this? How do we get to do this? You know, some topics, ladies and gentlemen, really here in QA are topics that we found down there in high school. All right. If you look at some of the topics that we did, that we're going to be doing here, these are topics that we did at high school level. So they are topics that we shall be able to do what here to really understand. Even if you did your high school long time ago, that should not scare you. That should not scare you at all. Now, then I would want to share the course outline of quantitative analysis and really get to understand, we get to understand what our agenda is for our today's class. It's going to be exactly 1 hour class, 1 hour class. So you just need to be very attentive, you know. All right. So we have great topics like linear programming, which are very, very popular with your examiner. We have topics like, for example, calculus, which has got differentiation and has got integration. And if my memory serves me well, as I look for this particular CONNECT syllabus, I would want us to look at this question. So this question, ladies and gentlemen, was tested the last sitting. It's very good for us to have this in our mind as we tackle some of these topics here. So this question was tested on the 24th of April, 2024. It's normally a morning paper. It's normally a morning paper, a 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. paper. You can see like question number 1, state 5 characteristics of a binomial distribution. Bi means 2. So we have the concept of 2 outcomes there. I don't want to talk about binomial distribution today, ladies and gentlemen. What I would want you to appreciate basically is this question number. I would want us to appreciate this question here. I would want us to appreciate a question here that was tested. Yeah, yes. So this was question number 4C. Question number 4C. Question number 4C reads, a solar panel production farm intends to research on a launch of a new solar panel, which would increase the sales of the panels to between 2,000 units to 3,000 units per week. Great information there. The weekly revenue in thousands of shillings over the range of sales could be represented by, we are given an R there, where X is the weekly solar panels units produced and sold in thousands, past records of the solar panels production in the farm estimates, its marginal costs in thousands of shillings. Keywords there, thousands of shillings could be represented by this function. MC equals, the fixed cost will be shillings 1,000 per week. Then they want us to give them average cost. They want us to give them average revenue function, the profit maximizing output. They want us to give them the price that would be charged to maximize what year profits. But I would then take 1 minute to just remind you, great friends of mine, that whenever you are given this kind of a function, remember this falls under what we call calculus. Calculus has got 2 branches. We have what we call differentiation, and then number 2, we have what we call integration. Differentiation and integration. And by the way, both of them were tested in that particular question. So then I will be able to remind ourselves, how do we differentiate functions? What is differentiation? When we talk of differentiation, ladies and gentlemen, this is the branch of calculus that is used to derive gradients, that is used to ascertain rates of change. So differentiation is all about rates of change. It is all about gradients. Now, ladies and gentlemen, whenever we talk about gradients, if you can recall very well, to get the gradient, a slope, we normally talk of change in y, out of change in what year? Change in x. Change in y, all over change in x. If you can recall, this is what we used to talk about. Change in y, all over change in x. So anytime you hear about differentiation, you shall always remember differentiation is all about gradients. It's all about rates of change. And this is how we calculate the rate of change. It is change in y all over change in x. I would have really wanted to delve more into this, but really, I mean, like formula derivations, those are not part of our syllabus. For my case, I should straight away go ahead and show you, great students of mine, how do we get to differentiate? How do we get to differentiate here? How do we get to differentiate? How do we get to differentiate? How do we get to differentiate? So to differentiate, if you're given a function like y equals ax raised to power n, if you're given a function like y equals ax raised to power n, then to be able, oh, I forgot to tell you one thing, ladies and gentlemen, this free of charge class is being given out to you by this gentleman called Dr. Joshua Aura. I teach at the RCM Online College, and I would want to invite all of you to become my students at this great school. The era of people going to physical classes to do their CPA is long gone. This thing of all your destiny being defined in, I mean, a 4-walled house, a 4-walled classroom is wrong. We have flattened all that. Now we have given you guys possibilities. You can get to study from wherever you are, even underneath a tree, wherever you are. Like right now, it's really raining. I mean, why would you be going to town center looking for a CPA college? And yet what we are giving you online cannot be given by those physical colleges. Because you see, and online, we shall be able to teach you guys through Zoom live. Under live sessions, you're able to unmute yourself and ask questions. Under live sessions, you can type a question, you can put up your hand, and of course, the teacher will be able to give you an opportunity to ask whatever question and even make contributions. If it happens that you don't understand the things in a Zoom live class, then you will have a video. Like right now, this particular session is being recorded. So when you get access to this video, remember video you can play first. You can, in this case here, backtrack, all right? You can, in this case here, go back to some concept that you never understood. When you're using that video later on, you can play expertise that physical colleges can never give you. And that is why I'm inviting all of you to really consider joining an online institution. RCM Online College is a college. Once you connect, you'll be able to learn and you'll grow. So if you're interested, ladies and gentlemen, in joining hands with us, this is our number. And we have very reasonable rates. Very reasonable rates. We charge Kenya shillings 4,800 per paper. Kenya shillings 4,800 per paper. So the 0719525000 is our number. And now you'll be able to allow me to proceed with my concepts after that commercial break. You'll allow me to be taking commercial breaks where I get an opportunity to showcase what we do at RCM College, as I progress. Otherwise, here we are. So if you're given a function, an equation like this, y equals ax raised to power n, and then somebody tells you to differentiate. So to differentiate, we've said it's all about rates of change. To differentiate, it's all about gradients. And how do we get this gradient? We said change in y over change in x. However, for differentiation, we talk of dy like this. dy all over dx. dy all over dx. dy all over dx. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please listen. We will have to drop. There are only two simple rules. We will have to drop this n down. So when you drop this n down, we shall be able to get what we call the NUX concept here. You drop this n down, you get NUX, and then the second simple thing I told you will be about reducing the old power by 1. To be able to get a new power, we subtract 1 from the old power. So there are only two things. You drop the old power down, and then you get a new power by, in this case here, taking the old power minus 1, the old power minus 1, the old power minus 1. For example, if you are given, let me see from you guys, is there anybody who can give me this derivative? Is there anybody who can give me this derivative? Is there anybody who can give me this? This is how we shall be writing our derivatives here. We call them derivatives, dy over dx. We call them derivatives, dy all over dx. We call them derivatives, dy all over dx. So is there somebody who can give us, these derivative, these differential? At times we call it a differential, dy over dx. So I'm so sure you guys are yet typing, they're trying to write and type for me the solutions there. Then I'll make your work easier by doing the first question, where they want us to give them dy over dx. So dy over dx, this is as easy as, this is very easy. It's about NUX thing. It's about this 5 coming down. There is a time I asked a student to differentiate this kind of an arithmetic, and then they told me that the answer is 510 x raised to power 4. So I was wondering, where did they get this 510 from? And then I realized that this is a very good ninja who has taken the concept of NUX literally, where this guy has taken the concept of NUX, that they are dropping just the 5 as if they are dropping a ball. No. It's NUX fine, but when this 5 comes down, as some gentleman is telling me, and also Jacinta is telling me here, as this 5 comes down, it will have to multiply this 10. And then it gives me 50, you're right. So in this case here, we have here 50x raised to a new power. 50x raised to a new power. And how do we get this new power? To get the new power, ladies and gentlemen, what we do, we shall deduct 1 out of the old power. So then this becomes here 50x raised to power 4. And I'm so happy to see that there are students who got this right. I'm so impressed and happy when I get students who are able to talk to me live here. And that is why today I'm going to give guys so many presents today. So this is the first one that guys have been able to get. Let me try you with this second one. What if you have like y equals 50x? What do you think in this case here will our dy over dx be? Just try. If you have y equals 50x, and then they want you to differentiate, then what do you think will be our dy over dx be? Please try your best. And then I would also want, as you do this, to call upon you, ladies and gentlemen, to invite all your friends. This is a free of charge session. I would want this session here to be shared out, and we should be able to get so many people attending, you know. So many people should be able to attend here. So please just take that link that you have and do what here, share it out with all your friends. Share it out with all your friends. So dy over dx, dy over dx, dy over dx, dy over dx. What do we have here? For dy over dx, for dy over dx. Do we have anybody who has some suggested? Remember, as I've told you, in my class, you're going to win big time. In my class, you shall be winning big time. In my class, you shall be winning big time. In my class, you shall be winning big time. So long as you are willing to talk and talk and talk and talk, keep on talking, you will be able to win big time. You'll be able to win a big time. So like I have a gentleman called Kibisu. No, this is a lady, Kibisu Johan. Great. Telling me that Mwalimu, the answer there is 50. The answer is 50. Is there anybody who has some contrary opinion? Somebody of a contrary opinion? Somebody of a contrary opinion who is saying, Johan, you are wrong. It can't be 50. It cannot be 50. It cannot be 50. Or is there somebody who has, the same opinion? The same opinion. You should also be able to talk to me. Same opinion. You should also be able to talk to me. Ladies and gentlemen, please listen and listen to me very well. This Johan lady is a great lady. She's a great lady. She's a great lady. She's been able to know one fact here. There is a fact that she has been able to know. There is a fact she has been able to know. Ladies and gentlemen, this lady has known that whenever she sees an X like this X here, it has an implied raised to 1 there. It has an implied raised to 1. It has an implied raised to 1. There is an implied, it's up there, raised to power 1. Raised to power 1. So it's 50x raised to power 1. And then I can go ahead to differentiate this. To differentiate, remember, it is the concept of NUX. So this 1 comes here. So it gives me 50 because it's 1 times 50. X raised to a new power. And how do we get this new power? How do we get this new power? The rule is very, very clear. It tells me that if I have y equals ax raised to power n, then to get dy over dx, come and drop the power. So that we talk of NUX like Nakuru, NUX. And then we talk of n minus 1 like that. So in this case here, I've been able to take this NAR, which is this raised to 1, I've been able to bring it here. So it is 50x raised to a new power. How do I get this new power? I will talk of the old power minus, of course, this one that is in the formula. So then this one here will be 50x raised to power 0. It will be 50x raised to power 0, ladies and gentlemen. Any number raised to power 0 is just like hot air. Number or letter raised to power 0 is a hot air. I'm better off not writing it because x raised to power 0 is the same as what here? Is the same as 1. It's the same as 1. It's the same as 1. So in that case, ladies and gentlemen, this will be 50 times 1. 50 times 1. So 50 times 1, that's why you saw Joanne very fast. She was able to pick that Mwalimu, dy over dx equals who? Equals 50. So she was right. She was right. Very right. Very right. So then I would want to try you with one more. I would want to try you with one. I would want to try you guys with one. Are you ready for a challenge? Is there somebody who is ready for a challenge? Is there somebody who is ready for a challenge? I want to challenge you guys. I want to start giving you guys gifts now. All right. I want to start giving you guys gifts now. I want to start giving you guys gifts now. I want to start giving you gifts. So if, for example, you are given this kind of an arithmetic, you are given here y equals 800. And then somebody tells you to differentiate. When they tell you to differentiate, they will tell you to get dy all over dx. dy all over dx. They'll tell you to get dy all over dx. Now I'm going to get my mobile phone so that I can be ready to start. In this case, you're sending this money to you guys. All right. able to get that. You are given here quite a simple arithmetic. You are given y equals 800, and then they want you to differentiate, get dy all over dx. Get dy all over dx. Do we have anybody who is up to the task? Who is up to the task and they want to get my presents? Today is going to be a great day. It's a day of presents. More so to you guys who are inviting your friends. Who are inviting your friends. Who are inviting your friends to join. If you are one of those guys inviting their friends, then automatically you'll be able to get great presents from me today. Somebody says they're 800. Another person says 0. Jared Dambok says here y equals 0. Y equals 0. Let's do it together. Let's do it together. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this 800 does not have x. It doesn't have x. Or rather, if I was to put x here, then it would be x with a 0. It would be x with a 0. It will be x with a 0. Because you see 800 times this is 1. So 800 times 1 is 800. X raised to 0 is 1. X raised to 0 is 1. So if I was to bring this x and put it just to go conforming with how functions are, y with x, no worries. I'll still put this x here, but raise it to power 0. Raise it to power 0. Now, when it is like this, I can go ahead and differentiate. How do we differentiate? It is the concept of NUX. So the concept of NUX, what do we have here? It is 0 times 800. X raised to 0 minus 1. Because again, I will not get tired, ladies and gentlemen, repeating this concept, that if you are given here y equals ax raised to power n, to get dy over dx, in this case here, n comes down, and it gives us the concept of what here, NUX raised to n minus 1. NUX raised to n minus 1. NUX raised to n minus 1. Then what do we have, ladies and gentlemen? NUX, the n has come down. This n has come down. This n is 0. It has come down. It's going to, and you know that, ladies and gentlemen, with 0 multiplied by anything, we are going to get, in this case here, what there? We're going to get the 0 there. Let me make your life easy on earth. I always like making lives easy. I always like making lives easy. Whenever you see a constant, you see this 800 without x is a constant. So whenever you see a constant like this, we are given here, y equals 800. Remember, dy dx is about gradients. dy dx is about steepness, about slopeness. So whenever you are given y equals 800, you see if I was to draw even this on a graph, so y here is 800, this line will be flat. The line will be flat. It will not be having any gradient, no gradient whatsoever. So then, gentlemen, if I was to have this here, y equals 800, then I will be able to witness that this line does not have any steepness. It's a flat line, and therefore dy dx should be 0. dy dx should be 0. Again, this is not even making your life easy. To make your life easy, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I would always want you to cram. That this that doesn't have x is known as a constant. This that doesn't have x is known as a constant. And the constants, whenever they are differentiated, they disappear. You cram it that way. Constants, whenever they are differentiated, they disappear. So constants, whenever they are differentiated like this, dy dx, they always do what here? They always disappear. So whenever you see constants, constants shall always disappear. Where they go to, whether they're going to hell or heaven, is none of my business. What I'm supposed to know, ladies and gentlemen, is that whenever I'm differentiating a constant will always do what here? A constant will always disappear. Then let me give you, ladies and gentlemen, some arithmetic here as I send this lady called Joanne, because Joanne is the only one now who got it right. correctly, as I send Joanne something, I would want to give you some other arithmetic here that you should be able to try. Then we also give you a present, you know. Today is a day for presents. So if, for example, we're given here y equals 40x raised to power 3 plus 50x raised to power 2 plus, in this case here, 0.5x plus 300 plus 300. If you're given this kind of a big arithmetic, and then someone tells you to get dy dx, and then it gives you 300 bob. It gives you 300 bob. So meanwhile, Joanne, are you able to share with me your phone number? I send you M-Pesa in the morning because you got the first one right. Please give me your number there. All right. And then the other students that I would want to really promote are those students who are going out of their way to call their colleagues from whatever WhatsApp groups. I'll be able to know who has brought many students in a few minutes, and then I'll be able to really reward you. I'll be able to reward you. I'll be able to reward you. Those guys who are able to share my LinkedIn video, they're able to share my YouTube video, then I should be able to reward them. But first of all, a promise is a debt. Let me, in this case here, reward Joanne. A promise is a debt. So Joanne becomes the most privileged QA student to get, in this case here, so 0711. All right. So we have there $300. I was on so. All right. So then we have Kevin Karaoke, who is putting in his luck into this and see whether he'll be able to get to this 300. So we have Kelvin Karaoke is the first one. Kelvin Karuki actually is the first one to post a solution to this. Let's see whether this great ninja will be able to get this amount. Let's see whether this great ninja will be able to get this amount. And then don't forget that on LinkedIn, I would want really to be very popular on LinkedIn. You search for RCM College there, ensure there you are able to do what here, RCM College, ensure that you are able to follow. We need a big presence on LinkedIn. Just like we have a big presence on Facebook, we would want to translate that to LinkedIn. All right, I can also see in this case here, so many guys trying out. Remember, the present can only be won by one student, not unless, you know, their class which tell me, Mwalimu, instead of giving 300 to one student, why don't you just subdivide that amount, say to even 6 students, 50, but now what will 50 shillings buy you, honestly? I would rather give you an amount. If you are somebody who loves these bad things like chips, you can get something to buy it, you know. 300 is a bit better, not very good, but a bit better. I don't like subdividing. Is there anybody who would want to tell me that Mwalimu, that 300 maybe divided to 3 people? Do you think that makes sense, or should we just give it to one person? Let's agree as a class, because I'm going to have these events severally. So as a class, we can agree. There are classes that tell me, Mwalimu, give all that to one person. There are classes which tell me, Mwalimu, subdivide that. There is a class I remember that told me, Mwalimu, subdivide that amount into 6 individuals and send them as airtime. And I always do that in that class. I always do that in that class. You guys, do you have any preferences? This quantitative analysis class at RCM College, do you have any preferences? Do you have any preferences? Would you want us to give like everything to one person or subdivide? I can see a ninja saying, yeah, subdivide. I can see one ninja saying there, subdivide. I can only make that decision if I realize that it is a class decision. If so many students are saying subdivide, or give it to one, and then we decide as a class. These guys don't like talking a lot. They don't want us to take a decision. 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 So let's go ahead and in this particular case, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and do what here? Let's go ahead and differentiate. So to differentiate, remember the power comes down. So 40 times 3, that gives me 120. X raised to power, new power, reduced by 1 power. X raised to power 2. Plus, ladies and gentlemen, this 2 comes down, giving me 100x raised to power 1, because it will be a reduced power by 1. The new power will be 2 minus 1, which gives me 1, and you see 1 is supposed to be implied. From there, we have here plus. Remember, this one here has got, a silent power 1 there. It has got a silent power 1 there. When we bring this down, we are getting 0.5, x raised to power 0. X raised to power 0, I don't have to write it here. Because you see 0.5 times x raised to 0, x raised to 0 is 1. So 0.5 times 1, that will leave me with 0.5. And then this 300 is a constant which disappears upon differentiation. It's a constant which disappears upon differentiation. So can somebody tell me from the students that you guys saw writing the answer, is there any student who was right? And if that is the case, who was the first one to get it right? Who was the first one to get it right? Any student in this case here was right in putting down this answer. The very first. We should be able to vote very fast. We should be able to vote very fast. We should be able to vote very fast. Is there anybody? So Kelvin was right. So Kelvin, are you able to give me your number there very fast? Susan, thank you. Kelvin, please give me your number. 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 If you move slowly, then Kelvin, it means you don't want this money. So Kelvin has been able to get this money. Kelvin has been able to get this money. Kelvin has been able to get this money. All right. So we have here, everybody's a winner. Everybody will get something today so long as you are very attentive and you are asking questions. Even asking questions in my classes will always give you a present. Even asking questions in my classes will always give you a present. And please, once you receive the money, it's always good to confirm that, Mwalimu, I have received. It's important you go public and say, just to motivate others, you simply say, Mwalimu, I have received. Mwalimu, I have received. Kevin Moro, very, very important. Very, very important to acknowledge receipts. All right. So that is it. And ladies and gentlemen, then with your permission, or before I proceed, is there anybody who has got a question surrounding this differentiation? Please feel free to ask questions. Is there anybody who has a question? And if there is none, will you be able to permit me to move to the next concept? Will you be able to permit me? Great. Thanks, Joanne. Will you be able to permit me to move to the next concept? Will you be able to permit Mwalimu here to move to the next concept? Great. Thank you very much. The two of them have a confirmed receipt. Will you be able to permit Mwalimu to go to the next concept? Or is there anybody who has got ish somewhere here and he would want some clarification? Rafael is telling me, Mwalimu, move to the next concept. Move to the next concept. So the next concept that I'm going to apply in this question, ladies and gentlemen, is basically integration. Integration. Integration, again, somebody will be getting some money here. Integration, somebody will be getting some money here. Under integration, somebody will be getting some money here. Under integration, somebody will be getting some money here. Integration, to integrate from the word integrate, to integrate, ladies and gentlemen, is to put together. We are summing, you know. So on integration, we are going to sum. On integration, we are going to sum. We're going to sum. So if, for example, somebody tells you, you integrate, this is a symbol of integration. You integrate this ax raised to n with respect to x. There is always a respect to x here. With respect to x, somebody tells you, hey, integrate this. You see, this is an elongated s for sum. It's an elongated s for sum. So the rule for integration is very easy. You shall increase the power by 1, and then you divide by the new power. You shall increase the power by 1, and then you divide by the new power. You shall increase the power by 1, and then you divide by the new power. Very, very easy. You increase the power by 1, and then you divide by the new power. And then unlike differentiation, this one has got K. Constant K. It's called a constant of integration. This has a constant of integration. This has a constant of integration. Let me see whether they have understood this. Let me see whether they have understood this. Let me see whether they have been able to understand this. So then, gentlemen, if, for example, you are given here y equals ax, no, not y, not y, not y. If, for example, you are given here, integrate 5x raised to power 4 plus 3x squared. How will this look like? It doesn't matter how many times it has. I'm going to integrate, of course, each one of them with this integration with respect to x. I'm going to integrate each one of them one at a time. So then this one here will be 5x raised to an increased. Remember, integration, we are summing. Integration, we talk of increased power. So then this one here will be 5x raised to power 4 plus 1, which gives me 5. So it will be 5x raised to power 5 divided by 5 plus 3x raised to power new power 3. Always you shall divide by the new power. We shall always divide by the new power plus constant of integration plus K plus the constant of integration plus the constant of integration plus the constant of integration. So, ladies and gentlemen, then this, of course, will cancel with this will cancel with that, leaving me with a final function of x raised to 5 into x raised to 3 plus k. You must always have that k, unlike differentiation. Integration has always that k. Integration has always that k. Integration has always that k. All right. Perhaps I should do one more as a way of repeating, and then I give you one. You do it yourselves for money. You know, you guys are lucky because when you do it, you get money. When I do it so that you guys can understand. But for you, you are very lucky. You do it not for nothing. You do it to earn. So here you are in a business of earning. You are in the business of earning. You're getting money, you know. You're getting money, you're getting money, you're getting money. So then, gentlemen, this is what we have here. If, for example, someone tells you to integrate 7x plus 3x raised to power 4, Of course, we're integrating all these with respect to x. Is there someone who can try these out? Even if it doesn't have any money, just try out as a way of mwalimu ensuring that whatever we are learning here is sinking deeper, well within us, Anybody who is able to really help us here. Anybody who is able to really help us here. Anybody who is able to really help us here. Anybody who is able to really help us here. I'm waiting. It doesn't have any present, but at least so that I can see what Kevin Karuki is giving me. He only forgot K, because K must always be there whenever we integrate. Whenever we integrate, K must always be there. K must always be there. K must always be there whenever we integrate. K must always be there whenever we integrate. K must always be there whenever we integrate. K, just like CPA K, must always be there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm so happy about my students here. All of them, they have been able to know that whenever there is an X that is silent, here, there must be a 1 that is seated on it somewhere there. It's implied, you can't write it. There is a 1 seated on it. So then when I go ahead to integrate, summing is all about increasing the power by 1. So if I increase this power by 1, it's a 2, it was 1. So 1 plus 1, this gives me 2. Don't forget the concept of dividing by the new power. Plus, ladies and gentlemen, we have here 3x raised to power 4 plus 1 gives me 5. Divide this by 5. So then at the end of the day, we have here plus who? Plus k. And then, of course, 2 and 7 will be able to cancel each other there at 3.5 x squared. This can be taken as 0.6 if you so wish, but you can leave it like that. 0.6 x raised to power 5 plus K. So this K is the constant of integration. This K is the constant of integration. And I'm so happy to see that there are students who got really everything here right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I would want to introduce you to the last concept before I get to, the past paper question. But again, a quick reminder, I would humbly want to invite all of you to join RCM Online College. Right now as we speak, we are the #1, not even online, #1 college in terms of supporting CASNEB registered students. Currently, we are supporting over 2,000. There is no college in the whole of East Africa that has got over 2,000 students spread all over East Africa. Remember, we have students in this case here from Sudan. We have students in this case here from Djibouti, yes. We have students from Tanzania here, from Uganda here, from Zambia. We have students in this case, of course, from Kenya. Kenya is the mother of them all. And in Kenya, they are spread. So this thing of saying that I have to go to a physical class, no, it's long gone. It's long gone. Now you can be able to connect to our signal. You get to learn. And then, of course, you get to grow professionally from wherever you are. And we are very modest in terms of our fees. We are charging Kenya shillings 4,800. We are charging Kenya shillings 4,800. And this is our number. Our number is 0719 525,000. 0719 525,000 is our number. Great. You can see what Raphael is telling us, that the RCM Online College is a community. Yes. Thank you very much, Raphael. A community of experts who genuinely care about your growth. That's very good. How I wish you can WhatsApp me this. This has to come to my WhatsApp, Raphael, if you don't mind. This has to come to my WhatsApp, Raphael. My personal number is 0721 620. That's very good of you, Raphael. 0721 620 183. So then I'll be able to introduce you to what we call marginal analysis. And a marginal analysis, assuming you are given what we call total revenue. And here you want to get what we call marginal revenue. Marginal like this, marginal revenue. So you are given total revenue and you want to get marginal revenue. By definition, marginal means 1 unit. Incremental unit. Incremental. So in this case, whenever you hear of marginal revenue, this is the increase in revenue associated with what you are selling 1 more unit, marginally, marginal revenue. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with that small understanding, I would want you to know that there is a connection between totality and marginality, marginal and total. So whenever you're given total revenue and you want to get marginal revenue, this way you shall always differentiate. You break down the trees by differentiating to get to the 1, 1, 1. So here you shall be able, you shall always differentiate. And then we have from marginal revenue. Whenever you're given marginal revenue to total revenue, backward, opposite. Remember, in calculus, integration is the opposite of differentiation. So whenever you're given marginal revenue to get total revenue, here you shall always integrate. You shall always integrate. Marginal analysis. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please remember the same is applicable to cost. Whenever you're given total cost and some ninja wants you to get marginal cost, from total cost, totality to marginality, here you shall always differentiate. From total cost to marginal cost, you shall always differentiate. And then we have from marginal cost to total cost, marginal cost to total cost, we shall always integrate. We shall always integrate. And that is why last semester, this examiner came and told you this. This examiner came and told you this. He gave you MC. MC stands for marginal cost. where X is a weekly solar panel, units produced and sold in thousands. Past records of the solar panels production in the farm estimates its marginal cost in thousands of shillings. So he gave us this cost function. And then he wants us to get cost function. So he has given us, my good students, this examiner has given us the marginal cost. This examiner has given us the marginal cost. This examiner has given us the marginal cost as who? He has given us the marginal cost as who? This examiner has given us the marginal cost as 2x cubed minus 3x minus 3x plus 5. And then he wants us to come and give him the total cost. He wants us to come and give him the total cost. So the question is, how shall we be able to get the total cost first before we go to the average cost? So it's very easy. Marginal is another terminology for minute, small, for 1 unit. So if I'm to move from these minute things to be able to get the total, then I must integrate the minute stuff. Whenever I see marginal cost, I must put them together through integration. I must integrate this. So I will come, ladies and gentlemen, here and integrate. So to get total cost, I will come and integrate the marginal cost. I will come and integrate the marginal cost. So basically, they want me to integrate this. So in short, to get the total cost, I will come and integrate this. So I'm integrating here 2x cubed minus 3x plus 5. Is it x cubed or let me see again. I think I must have taken it wrongly. It's 2x squared. It is 2x squared. It's 2x squared. It is 2x squared. It is 2x squared. It is 2x squared. It is 2x squared here. It is 2x squared here. So they want me to integrate this. And I'm going to integrate each term one at a time. Let me see whether we have any great ninja that can integrate for us here. Do we have any great ninja that can integrate this for us? Do we have any great ninja that can integrate this for us? Any great ninja that can integrate this for us? Any great ninja that can integrate this for us? Any great ninja that can integrate this for us? Do we have any great ninja that can integrate this for us? Let me give them 1 minute to see whether we have any great ninja. I normally call my students ninjas because this is war. We are fighting with CASNEB, a good war, of course. We are fighting with CASNEB. When CASNEB tries to give us this kick, we kick it better and pass and go to the next section. I can see Kelvin Karuki has already given me an answer there. Jacinta as well has given me an answer there. Ladies and gentlemen, to be able to integrate this is a simple thing. So long as I remember that integral is all about growth. It's all about growing our powers by 1, and then you divide by the new power. All right, I can see what Raphael is also giving me there. Ladies and gentlemen, then I'll be able to integrate this quite fast. So integration. So in this case here, then the total cost will be equal to, of course, this is power 2. But when I integrate this, it will now be power 3 because I'm growing it by 1. Get a new power there, come and have the new power being a divisor. Minus, this one has got a raised power 1. So it will be minus 3x squared over 2. Under integration, there is nothing that disappears. You have even seen us bringing new stuff here, an integration called constants. So integration, nothing disappears. Actually, whenever you have like now this constant here, in integration, because you're putting things together, you shall come and fuse x to it. So it becomes 5x. It becomes 5x. And then at the end of the day, we shall come and say here plus what here? Plus K. At college level, we don't use C. At college level, we use K because to us here, C is total cost. C is total cost. So that to avoid confusion, at college level, our constant will not be C. Thank you very much for bringing that up. But at college level, our constant will never be C. Our constant shall be K. Our constant shall be K. Our constant shall be K. So then, gentlemen, this is our really total cost. But now we need to appreciate one thing. But whenever you see K, you said K is a constant of it. So it's a constant. In terms of cost, this constant is what we shall call fixed cost. This constant is what we shall call fixed cost. The constant is what we shall call fixed cost. The constant is what we shall call fixed cost, fixed cost. And your examiner indeed has given you the fixed cost. Your examiner indeed has given you the fixed cost here. Your examiner has told you, first of all, these marginal costs are in thousands. All right. And he has told us the fixed cost is 1,000. So you must chop those 3 zeros for it to be in tandem with the marginal costs, which are in thousands. So you must chop those 3 zeros. So in this case, the fixed cost, I'll take it as 1. So remember, we have got 2 types of costs. Costs that vary with output. The more you produce, the more the cost. And then we have got these costs which are ever constant like rent. So in this case here, you can see these ones here have X, so they are variable. But now we have one cost here which is always constant, which is the fixed cost. So then therefore, my total cost here will be 2 over 3, X raised to power 3, minus this and this will give me 1.5, X squared, plus 5X, plus the constant, which so many students were writing here, 1,000. Again, they forgot that this ninja called CONNECT wanted, in this case here, them to, CONNECT, the big ninja, has told you, in this case, that the marginal cost is in thousands. So for compatibility, then that 1,000 shillings, you must also chop 3 zeros from it. Chop 3 zeros from it. So then we have our total cost. But you see, the examiner wanted the average cost. How do we get averages like the mean? To get average cost, you will take the total cost, you divide this by what your quantity, which is X. AC, please write down that AC stands for average cost. AC stands for average cost. So go ahead and divide for us. Hey, you ninjas. Even before I divide for you guys, if, for example, you are given here 4 minus 2 over 2, 4 minus 2 over 2, you see this is the same as 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Great. But you see, another ninja would have come and divided this. Another ninja would have said 4 divided by 2 minus 2 divided by 2. That will still give us the same answer, you know. You can use distributive law. You're distributing this here. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 gives me 1. 2 minus 1 gives me 1. So I can as well go ahead and distribute this X to each of those terms. And that is what I'm going to do just in a minute. In a minute, they wanted me to give them average cost. So in this particular case, my average cost, I've said, is total cost divided by this X. And what I'm going to do is to divide each of these numbers by X. I divide, so it is 2X cubed over 3. Minus 1.5X squared plus 5X plus 1, everything to be divided by X. And I'm saying that for purposes of solving this, I will need to divide each of these terms by X. You see, when we talk of X cubed is the same as saying X times X times X. So when I divide 3X's with X, I'm going to have 2X's. So in short, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm going to have at the end of the day. This is what I shall have at the end of the day. My AC will be, when I take this here, so this will be 2 over 3 as usual, but now X will square. This will be 1.5, just a single X, because you know this is the same as 1.5X times X. So I divide by X here, it leaves me with 1.5X plus 5 plus 1 over X. This will be 1 over X. And now that marks the end of the first question, which wanted us to give them average cost for those number of marks. I really wanted to push this question to the end, but I'm not able to do so because I'm needed to attend to some event at exactly 9. So I don't know whether you guys will be free so that we'll be able to have a part 2. I don't know whether your afternoon is free. Is your afternoon free? We jump into just a 30-minute session to complete this question. So part 2 of this will be down there, But you see, for those who are following me on YouTube, in this case here on LinkedIn, on Facebook, you'll need really to be commenting on my post, very, very important. And then you follow me. So that when I simply say that I have a session, you'll get a notification. I mean, from ourselves here. You will need, in this case here, to really subscribe. So the leaders that have been able to give these great presents, please keep it up. The guys who never got the presents, I'm so sure next time you will get. Next time you will get. Just to be keen. But as you come to my session, ladies and gentlemen, I would want you to go to LinkedIn. I'm so sure you guys are members of LinkedIn. You are members of LinkedIn. Go there and look for RCM College. And then you follow it. Once you follow it, please screenshot and send to me. Screenshot evidence that you have followed it, and then I'll be able to know what to do. I'll be able to know what to do with you guys. Otherwise, it has been a good session, you know. I'm really, really happy to always have you guys, despite giving you short notices, given how busy I am. At times I wake up, I give students 15 minutes notice, and I still get a good number attending. I don't take this for granted. This is what Raphael told us. It's a community full of love, you know, right? So it's just a few minutes like this, and here we are getting ourselves to study every day. Great things being studied every day. Otherwise, be on the lookout. How will you be on the lookout? By joining our WhatsApp groups. By, in this case here, going to like social media, like RCM Online College on Facebook. Follow it. So that whenever I issue that notice, you'll be able to see. Otherwise, from me to you is bye for now. Thank you, bye. Great. And of course, we can't forget to give you a number, which is 0719 525,000. 0719 525,000. Thank you.